Hello, everybody. I am back with a little review of one of my all-time favorite zombie movies, Return of the Living Dead 3. Um, if you're wondering about reversible covers, Vestron Video, as far as I know, they don't do reversible covers. But this is the original cover, the original theatrical poster cover. So yeah. Return of the Living Dead to me has always stuck with me because it's uh it's when I started to realize I loved punk music, definitely metal music and whatnot. And I saw this at a very young age, like 6 years old, 7 years old. Nah, I take that back. The first horror movie I ever saw was when I was six, and it was Friday the 13th Part 2. So, yeah. I saw this when I was probably about 8 years old. So, yeah. Always stuck with me, especially the last 10 minutes, like literally seeing bodies being put together with metal and whatnot. It's scary as heck. But this movie is like Romeo and Juliet if you put it with zombies. It's about this guy named Kurt, who is in love with a lovely young lady named Julie, seen right here. Um, Kurt is played by J. Trevor Edmond, who I always remembered him from Pumpkinhead 2, which is another one of my favorite films as a kid. A lot of people have warmed up to it, but when it came out, like a lot of people didn't like it. But I always had a soft spot for. I have a soft spot for a lot of movies. What can I say? But he knocked it out of the park as the main character in this. In Pumpkinhead 2, he was like the lead a hole in the movie. But in this one, you actually feel for the guy. He's a teenager who ends up falling in love with a girl, Julie, and his dad works at the plant where they've got the trioxin 247 trioxin. I might be saying the numbers wrong, but yeah. Um, his father ends up working at the uh, place where the canisters of the first movie were like they were moved from that place all the way to a place looks like Los Angeles. I might be wrong. It might not be Los Angeles at all. But uh they move it to a factory and like there's all these trioxin containers, and they're trying to bring the dead back to life to be used in armies, like pretty much so that you won't have to feed your soldiers, they won't die, like the soldiers won't die. And the first zombie that um gets brought back is this one right here. Um and lo and behold, they shoot it up with a tranquilizer, which stupid, stupid beyond belief. They shoot the head of the zombie with a tranquilizer. They they know they're going. They didn't put into context that, oh, it's gonna wake back up within a matter of about 10 minutes. So lo and behold, like while they're strapping the zombie back on the thing and everything, well, actually they're unhooking the zombie. They're trying to check to make sure the vital signs are all dead and everything. Lo and behold, one of the workers ends up putting the fingers into the dude's mouth, and lo and behold, the zombie bites the fingers, and then you get lovely, lovely gore. The zombie ends up taking Anthony Hickox's character and smashing his head against the window. In the R-rated cut, you just see like the aftermath of it, but you keep on seeing the smashes, and the more smashes that happen, his brain starts to look. You start to see the dude's brain, and I always missed that in the R-rated cut. In the unrated version, I used to own the unrated version on VHS, so I'm happy to finally own it again. This time on Blu-ray, beautiful picture quality too. But this film is great. After that, uh, Kurt Kurt ends up taking his girlfriend Julie over to the facility to see like what they're doing, and they leave before the zombie eats anyone. They leave just as the zombie wakes up, so they don't get to see the carnage that happens. So for all he knew, for all Kurt knew, like those scientists were perfectly fine. But anyways, Kurt's dad ends up getting moved to a different facility. I want to say it's in Connecticut. He says the state, but anyways, he says he's being relocated, and him and Kurt only have 2 weeks to get ready to go out. So he's got to pack up his stuff. But Kurt, being a teenager, decides, you know what, I'm gonna be with my girlfriend. So he takes Julie. They end up riding on the motorcycle, and what ends up happening is she's like touching him all over, and he can't concentrate. And lo and behold, a truck is coming and almost hits them. What ends up happening is um, Kurt slams on the brakes of the motorcycle. Julie goes flying and ends up getting her neck broken. And this is with all within the first 15 minutes of the movie, so I'm not spoiling anything right now. I won't be spoiling the whole movie, by the way. I have a habit of doing that sometimes. I'm sorry, especially with the older movies. But anyways, he decides, you know what? If the gas in those containers can bring a dead person back to life, let's see if it will actually work for Julie. So he takes her all the way back to the facility, uses his dad's card, gets all dressed up in the hazmat suit, and puts the gas onto Julie. And Julie, lovely young lady, comes back to life, but she feels numb. Like she says, "Oh my gosh, I can't feel my neck. I can't feel my neck. It hurts. It hurts." And she starts to crave. Like she starts to crave food. Like at first you're like, okay, let's get her some food. They, but before they escape out of that area, Tarman appears, and oh my god, I love the Tarman design in this movie. Like it looks so different but so familiar at the same time. And there's a cool, it's all done in one shot. The zombie, it's a puppet. It's a puppet. You can kind of tell it's a puppet, but it's an amazing looking puppet. Like the zombie like ends up ripping its own skeleton out of the flesh and starts chasing them like and all of a sudden this man comes along and you it's a security guard not paying attention to what's near him. The zombie Tarman ends up biting right into the security guard's skull, and you just see brains, and I'm like, ugh. This was back when zombie movies were fun. Nowadays, like you look at zombie films and oh, they're just jokes, like they're memes and stuff like that. But back in the 80s and 90s, we had zombie movies like this. This was a sequel to a movie from the 80s, and it had no right being as good as it is, but gosh darn it, it was great. And like I said before, I try not to curse anymore in my videos because I do not know if I'll get pretty much reported or anything, so I try my best not to curse in my reviews. I wish I could. I've got the mouth of a sailor, by the way, but yeah. Um. Anyways, they end up leaving, and here's where we end up getting the antagonists of the movie. There's this Latino gang. They're in the middle of playing a game at a gas station, and the reason Kurt goes to the gas station because Julie is hungry, and so they end up getting to the gas station, end up getting all this food and everything. Julie ends up taking everything off the shelf and eating it, and she's like, "I don't know what I want," and nothing tastes good to her. And lo and behold, I keep on saying lo and behold, I should stop seriously, but Julie ends up biting one of the Latino men right in the arm, and like you just see, like his wound ends up festering, and like you're like, ugh, and gives you the shakes. But anyways, they're headed out. Uh, they end up paying the cashier for the food and stuff, but the Latino gang ends up literally taking the poor guy's money, like they're robbing the poor guy. And lo and behold, they end up shooting the poor guy. Thankfully, he still lives and everything. But then, uh, because the alarm went off, the cops start to come, and uh, like the the clerk ends up saying like, "Hey, can you take me with you? Can you take me to the hospital?" So Kurt ends up taking the guy, and they're trying to escape, but yet the cops are chasing them and whatnot. And what ends up happening is a stupid cop sees the man screaming for help, and like the orders from the cops are to shoot on sight the kids, because one of the kids happens to be a zombie. Spoiler alert. But ends up shooting the poor clerk. His head ends up getting shot, and what does Julie do? Because she's got the hunger for flesh. Ends up eating the poor guy's brain, and you get like this lovely shot. I know I sound crude saying this, but it's an effect, so that's what I'm pointing to. The effect is amazing. Like her she's like just biting into the head and everything, and just biting out little bits of brain, and then all of a sudden the dude comes back to life right as the cop comes. And this is where I'll stop right here talking about the plot. But anyways, the dude comes back to life and bites right into the cop, and the cop ends up shooting, and you see the bullet just go right through the head. And I'm just like, oh, whoa, that's awesome. I missed seeing that in the R-rated version. I always saw the unrated version as a kid, and when I saw the R-rated version when I was a teenager, I was like, "Hey, what's all this? Like half the gore is cut out." Coming to find out, it was an unrated VHS I owned, and for the longest time, I was like, "Okay, DVD, DVD. Okay, please be an unrated DVD. Please be an unrated DVD." No, nothing. Then finally, in 2000, it should say the year this came out. This Blu-ray, anyways. This Blu-ray came out in. Come on, just say what year it came out. Uh, 2016. It was worth the wait. Um, I got this recently, like last month. It is now April 1st, so I got this March 1st. I'm so happy to own this. So happy. The effects on this thing absolutely blew my mind as a kid, and they still blow my mind to this day. Even though there's more gorier stuff nowadays, like Terrifier. Um, uh, Trying to think of newer horror movies that have upped the gore. The Evil Dead remake. Um, I know some people say it's a reboot, but it was one movie, so I'm calling it a remake. It's just one dang movie. You don't call it a reboot unless there's another one to follow it. And Evil Dead Rise, again, is another remake. So yeah, some people say it follows after the events of the 2013 one. With the way the Evil Dead movies are nowadays, they're the same with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Every movie is its own movie. So yeah. And I love Evil Dead Rise. I thought Evil Dead Rise was cool. I thought Evil Dead 2013 was cool. Actually reviewed Evil Dead 2013. Oh god, in 2021, I got to work up my review game. But anyways, Definitely check this out, especially this Blu-ray. Beautiful Blu-ray, beautiful slipcover, original artwork, and I love the tagline, "She's to die for." And yes, she does start to look like that in the movie, but you have to see the movie for yourself if you haven't already. And if you haven't, and you're a gore hound, and you love zombies, and you love a good plot line, even though you can pick it apart, check this movie out. It's available on Tubi, but I can't remember if it's the unrated version or not. It might not be, because I'm seeing stuff in here that I didn't see in the Tubi version. So this is the full unrated version, but the version on Tubi is still gory as hell. So yeah, definitely check this movie out. It's a lovely one to add to the collection. It's even individually numbered. It's number 4 in the Vestron video collection. Comes with a good amount of special features. It doesn't list all of them, so I'm going to tell you all of them, but I'm going to tell you the ones they listed first. Audio commentary with Brian Yuzna. Yes, the man with the plan, the one who makes some of my favorite movies. He made Society, Beyond Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, which I finally saw for the first time last year. It was amazing. Um, he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, for goodness sakes, and I was like, the same man who brought me Honey, I Shrunk the Kids made this. That just blew my mind as a kid, and I was just like, wow. But yeah, Brian Yuzna, amazing director, amazing film. I don't find any faults with this film. Yeah, the plot can be contrived, but so is the plot could be like, oh, if only he didn't bring his girl back, none of this would happen. But come on, like, you want bloodshed? This movie gives you bloodshed, especially zombie bloodshed, and the zombies in this look amazing. And this isn't even half of what you'll see when it comes to the zombies. Um, so yeah, so definitely pick this up. It always goes on sale on Amazon. I got it for $23, I want to say. My girlfriend's dad got it for me, so I'm so happy to own this. So definitely check this out. Blu-ray, all the contents, as I'll say. Audio commentary with Brian Yuzna, actress Melinda Clark, special makeup effects artist Tom Raynone, and now I'll say the interviews. It doesn't say on the back. It also comes with an interview with J. Trevor Edmond. It comes with an interview with the composer. You get a conversation with director Brian Yuzna, screenwriter John Penny, interview with special effects artist Steve Johnson and Chris Nelson, interviews with production executive Dave Trippett and editor post-production supervisor Chris Roth. There's about 3 theatrical trailers and a TV spot, which it doesn't say the TV spot on the back. And it comes with a still gallery. So this is loaded with and none of it is fluff. Like I haven't watched all of the special features, but so far none of it has been fluff of what I've seen. And I will watch this with the audio commentary at some point, because I love myself some audio commentaries. Return of the Living Dead, boom. Return of the Living Dead 3. Check it out. Get it while you can. Well, it's never going out of print. At least I hope not. Please, no, please. Please do not let this go out of print, please. Get this any way you can. Be it Amazon, BestBuy.com. I don't really trust Best Buy when it comes to ordering stuff online, though, so yeah. Had bad experiences with them. But anyways, Walmart.com has this, Amazon has it, Best Buy has it. If you trust a Best Buy, go for it. But I've had bad problems with Best Buy. But check this out. Check this Blu-ray out. For those who haven't seen it and love good zombie movies, the way they should be, dark, brooding, and vicious, check this movie out. Uh, this is my own personal score. I try to score most of my movie reviews. Sometimes I don't score the movies, sometimes I do. But I'm giving this, just with the Blu-ray quality alone, I'm with it included and everything. The movie quality, the movie just being as good as it is, I'm giving this sucker a 10 out of 10. I I thought this was fantastic. Vestron Video did an amazing job, and they cleaned up the gore, like the scenes. Yeah, they'll look a little scratchy and whatnot because they're using vault materials, but the picture quality on this thing is great. So definitely, go out there, pick this up if you don't have it already, and I'll see you soon. Psychopathic1 signing out. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this review. It's nice to be back. Um, I finally got a better camera, so like I got a new phone, so bright camera and everything. So yeah, catch y'all later. Hopefully y'all enjoyed.